Hey everybody, this is Sean, and you're watching Claircognizance on my pagan channel. First off, I do want to apologize to my subscribers for the fact that I have not been able to put up a video lately. I've been being hit hard with a lot of extra work recently at my job, and also the fact that I'm also having trouble uploading videos onto YouTube, as in, like, they're taking a shit ton of time to load. I'm still trying to figure out why. But other than that, that's about all I can address that isn't related to this video right now. So, onto the topic of claircognizance. Claircognizance, also known as clear knowing, is a psychic ability that relates to guidance from the divine in the form of ideas, concepts, or thoughts. As in, it's more along the lines of, as opposed to clairaudience where you hear, or clairvoyance where you see, or clairsentience where you feel, it's literally like thoughts from, like, messages from the divine just pop up in your head as if they were a thought. And it's a less emotional based ability due to the fact that it is related to the mind as opposed to the heart or eyes or ears. It's related to your crown chakra, which is, in a sense, your low connection to the divine, hence the reason why it's considered a more mental-based ability and a less emotional-based one. Let's see. Claircognizant people are normally very proficient in problem-solving, creating new ideas, and understanding abstract concepts, as well as having accurate insight into most situations, being that if there's a problem that pops up, a claircognizant person who is actively using their ability would be able to see a more creative solution that people would normally think of, and use that solution to fix whatever the problem is, and as well as the fact that being able to do a certain number of things, such as being able to detect when someone is lying to you based on just sheer knowing, as well as knowing things about people, especially strangers that you wouldn't know, such as you're sitting on a train and the person behind you says that their daughter's birthday is soon, or you might get a flash of insight as to, oh, well, your daughter is going to grow up to be this in her future, and she's going to be very successful, and without having any sort of prior knowledge to any of this at all. There are a number of ways that you can develop this ability. Just plain meditation helps to develop claircognizance, as well as just asking questions of the divine, just sitting there asking a question and waiting for an answer, and knowing when it pops up in your head and it's something that doesn't come from your own perspective, or it's something that comes from a completely different perspective that you would have never thought of. That's the message from divine saying, hey, this is the answer to your question, this is how you can solve it, and here's other way you can implement the solution, that kind of a thing. Although I myself am claircognizant, I identify as a claircognizant person. My friends have told me on a number of occasions that they couldn't figure out how I knew what I knew about them. And that's a phrase that comes with being claircognizant. A phrase that heavily defines claircognizance is, I know what I know, but I don't know how I know. Because the knowledge that you gain from divine insight just pops in your head. You just know what the answer is. You don't know where the answer came from unless you are in contact with the spiritually divine, in which case you know it's a message from divine, or it's an answer from divine, as opposed to, I thought of this answer, it's like this answer just came to me. There are a number of things that claircognizant people do tend to exhibit in a negative fashion, such as being afraid, knowing when someone's lying to you is one problem that can present itself being a claircognizant. I myself have personal experience with this. For most of my life, whenever I know someone would lie to me, I would know that person's lying to me. I just felt betrayed, and the fact that they wouldn't confide in me in whatever the problem is. And this was like when I was really young, like when I was 6 or 7, and I knew problems that my parents were having or my friends were having without any prior knowledge to whatever was going on in the situation. I just know this is the problem that's going on, and they'd be like, how did you know? And I'd be like, I just knew. It's one of those things that comes with being claircognizant. The problem, though, is that knowing when someone's lying to you, claircognizants like myself, we tend to put up a distance. Like, there's a barrier between me and the person that has lied to me, and this is a person that I would trust, or this would be a close friend of mine, and they lied to me, and I just automatically start putting up that barrier, that distance, and keeping them at arm's length, so as not to get hurt myself with the fact that they were lying. The problem was that this was affecting my personal relationships, in which I realized I didn't have any really close friends. I just knew people, and people knew me. And it never really seemed like I had any friends up until sophomore year of high school when I moved. And I've already talked about this move a bunch, but this move was such a significant part of my life. It benefited me greatly when I moved, and I'd have to say that the fact that I found other people like me to help me develop, as well as to help me see the brighter side of it, was a significant factor in making me who I am today, and finding that acceptance. And once I realized what my abilities were and how it was affecting me, I was like, I'm such an idiot. I'm letting my ability control me, as opposed to me controlling my ability. And the minute that I realized that I was letting my ability control me, was when I began to start taking control of my ability, recognizing the problem that I had with my power, as well as realizing that I can't let this continue, was the first step in me gaining more control and more focus on my ability. Now, it's been 4 or 5 years since that revelation has hit me, and I've gained more semblance of control. I can't exactly turn it on and off yet, but I've gotten it to the point where I can filter out what I feel is necessary for me to know. And if someone lies to me, I've started to realize whether or not, like, I'll put myself in their shoes and be like, okay, this is an issue that they probably don't want to disclose to me, because one, they feel like it'll either change my viewpoint on them, or two, they don't feel ready to disclose this information to anybody yet. So once I started to realize this, I started to think, okay, they'll come to me whenever they feel like they're ready to. So again, this is like developed over a period of time. It's going to take a lot of practice for anyone who is claircognizant that has very little control over their claircognizant ability. It's going to take practice. It's going to take a lot of meditation. It's going to take a lot of practice and exercise and control over your claircognizant ability. One of the things that really helped me was just to meditate. Like I've stated before, just meditation, as well as a few simple exercises. One of them being a what was it? It was a exercise involving playing cards, and you would have a card, you have the deck sitting out in front of you, you pick up the card, you place it face down, and you won't look at it, and you guess whether or not, you start out first by guessing whether or not it is a red card or a black card. And then once you get used to that, you get up into, what suit is it? Is it diamonds? Is it hearts? Is it clubs? Is it spades? And then after that, you can further it and get more detailed into, okay, it is a number or a face card of this suit, and etc., etc. So it's just, that's one of the ways that I began to develop and control my claircognizance. So this has kind of been all around the spot video. I'm sorry if I gave y'all whiplash from the number of topic changes and the speed that I was going by. I'm trying to keep this under 15 minutes so that way that it would upload faster, hopefully, because YouTube's been giving me a bunch of issues and problems with uploading. So, if you guys have any questions about any of the things I've covered in this video, if you have any insights onto to add on to what I've talked about in this video, or if you just plain old disagree with some of the things I've said, please post in the comments. Remember, though, to be respectful with how you post it. I don't mind having a debate, but I don't want to have an argument. Arguments, things I want to keep out of my channel. And yeah, that's about it. Whether or not it's morning, noon, or night, I give you all many blessings and blessed be.